Hey, good early afternoon, 2:39 p.m. Monday. Aren't Mondays wonderful? Don't you just love them? It starts a new week, starts new habits, starts a new way of life. Anyway, thought for today. I just got back from 5 miles. Did I say that? Thought for today is, are you in a state of growth or are you in a state of protection? Dr. Bruce Lipton and several other scientists have done experiments with cells, cellular experiments, and they can put a cell in a petri dish, and in one dish they can put a nourishment, and in another dish they can put a toxin. And that cell will migrate toward the nutrition and migrate or move away from the toxins. So it's a natural tendency of our bodies to move toward things that are good and away from things that are bad. And that's kind of what causes a stress or fight or flight movement in our lives. Now, basically there is a third movement that the cell would take, and that is a non-movement. He doesn't move forward toward the nutrition. He doesn't move away from the toxin. It just does nothing. And that is usually when a cell has nothing to fear or nothing to gain. It's totally neutral. Nothing influences that cell. So that's the way our bodies are. And our cells, or your cells growing in a state of growth, are in a state of protection. And I'm not talking about fat cells growing. A lot of our 66% of the population in the U.S., our cells are growing, but that's not the way we want them to grow. But again, we're either in a state of growth or in a state of protection. And it's so interesting is when we get into that state of protection, those chemicals in our brain, the stress hormones, actually rob our bodies of energy, the energy that's needed to, as I was listening today, I was hearing that when we're in a state of fear and in a state of stress, our energy that we consume is actually flowing into our arms and legs so that we can fight or flight. But the bad part of it is that it is robbing the energy from our vascular systems. So we're sucking energy away from our life-sustaining parts of our body and letting it flow into the protection part of our bodies. And we're in a state of degradation as opposed to a state of health and nutrition and energy and vitality and growth. So what he's saying is that love conquers all. And if we are in a state of love, then our growth cells are actively producing healing hormones into our body so that our bodies can actually heal itself from whatever the problem is. In fact, they were saying that they can do a blood test and they can analyze the fact that we have almost every bacteria in our body all the time. We have cancer cells in our body flowing around all the time. We have viruses flowing around in our body and our blood all the time. And yet our immune system is what is strong enough to combat those. And that's also why we need to be in a state of love, in a state of learning, in a state of growth, because it also enhances our immune systems. So when we're in a state of stress, our immune systems are reduced, and therefore we go into the disease that we have in our body, whether it's cancer or whether it's viruses or whatever it is, overcomes the immunity that we have because our immune system drops. So the problems expand in our bodies, and once they start growing, it's more difficult for the immune system to resist those things. So all I'm saying is today, concentrate on the fact that you're either in a state of growth, protection, growth or protection, If you're in a state of growth, you're in a state of healing. If you're in a state of protection, you're in a state of decline. If you're in a state of stress, those negative hormones are being produced in your system to create disease and lower your immune systems. If you're in a state of love, forgiveness, acceptance, what else? Gratitude. In a state of gratitude, then we have our healing hormones. Our cells are just in a state of constant growth because of the healing hormones we're producing in our body. And therefore, we're in a state of health and moving toward a greater and greater state of health. So keep that in mind. And if you want to know more about this or just talk about it, give me a message on my YouTube, Facebook, wherever you see this. Hey, be good. God bless. Love you.